Okay, so like, I don't want to be like, called it, but I did. Hello, my name is Montero, and thank you for joining me on my journey to watch every single sitcom and TV show ever created. Not really, but we're gonna get close. Putting my dinner aside, we need to discuss a few things. And those few things are How I Met Your Father Season 1 finale. It's over. It's done. It's been a very, very long 9 weeks. And yeah, the journey was a little bit more rough than I would care to admit, but the end was actually pretty good. Here's the thing, I called it. Accidentally, mind you, yeah, but I called it. I called the finale. The finale. Now, if you haven't read any of my reviews, you can go find them on my website, ivanmonterocreative.com, on my blog section. Please read them because I'm going to refer to one of them, not sure which one, but or it's a second review, episodes 4 through 6. I'm gonna refer to that one in a second. Second is up. So in that review, I actually said that alternatively, episode 6 could have served as a season finale, but with everybody breaking up, because everybody almost broke up in that episode, and it's episode 6. So it's like, no, halfway. It's midpoint. So like everybody went through a trial and, you know, nobody broke up, but it really seemed as if everybody would. And so I had said, part in jest, but mostly serious, that it would be interesting if everyone broke up or everybody ended up single and, and just like Marshall and Lily. And just like Marshall and Lily, they start out season 2. Well, they started out season 2 together and then they broke up. But season 2, they spend single again. And that's kinda exactly what happened-ish. This is the penultimate episode, right? In episode 9, Drew and Sophie break up. Charlie and Valentina seem like they're gonna break up. Sid and Hannah seem like they're gonna break up. And Ellen is continuing to be Ellen. Although she is warming up to me. And she did warm up to me in this episode. That sounds so mean, and I know so many people like Ellen. I just didn't really see her point until now. I'm gonna noodle break. I winked with my eyebrow. Weird. The episode picks up almost exactly where it leaves off the next day. Episode 10 is a perfect example of you get what you want, and it may not have been what you were expecting it to be, or what you may have wanted in the end. And sometimes when you get what you want a little too fast, a little too sudden, it might freak you out. It might be a little too scary because you haven't had enough time to prepare for it, or at least you don't think you do. But this happened to Sophie. She basically overheard Jesse profess love. Oh my goodness, I just realized. In episode 10, sorry, I had to think for a little bit. I think I may have been double right in the sense that Sophie may not be the Ted that we're thinking. The Ted may actually be Jesse, which I have said in my last review. Jesse seems to have the characteristics that Ted has, and Sophie seems to have a mixture of so many others, but she is her own character. So it made me think, what's gonna happen? It dawns on me, sorry. I'm gonna backtrack. Sophie is Robin, almost literally, because Sophie encounters Robin at the bar, and she sees the Carl. So this new show didn't get 1 or 2, they got 4. 4 classic veteran Himyf actors. I'm losing my words. Nude break. 4 veteran actors from Himyf to come and cameo in this season alone. That's pretty cool. And they didn't really use them just for nostalgia. They didn't use them for nostalgia. They actually really wrote them how they would be so many years later. Each character that appeared, that cameoed, which was a captain, Becky, the boats girl, nude break, Carl, the bartender, and Robin Scherbatsky. See, the thing is, Jesse, just like Ted, tells Sophie on their first date that he loves her. The difference between Ted and Robin is that Ted knew Robin only for a few hours or for a few days. It wasn't very long. Jesse has known Sophie for a year now. And, you know, they have been together side by side. They've been through so much crap together. And it's just to suddenly put into perspective that season 1 was a whole pilot. Done, extended, right? Looking at Himyf as a whole, it's a pretty good season. If Himyf had released 1, 2, 3, not just 1 and 2, I feel like more people would have been on board because episode 3, was the better episode written by Dan Levy. But that was the one that kind of like brought everything all together. It was like a 1, 2, 3 pilot, kind of. If people were allowed to binge this show, just like, you know, other streaming service shows like Pretty Smart, unlike Pretty Smart, it could have done really, really well as a bingeable show. At least I would have binged it entirely. I mean, everybody would have. Everybody does. That's what everyone does now. We binge. We are TV gluttons and content gluttons. I am. Cabbage break. In any case, all 10 episodes are available now, so you can jump on them if you haven't already. It's pretty good. Just binge it all. Just watch it all in one go. It's rough, but it's a fun ride. That's the thing. This season, I would classify this season as rough but fun. Oh. Sorry. Wow, no, that was an accident, so. Okay. That's probably one of the jokes you would have heard on this show. This is so bad. Or the early jokes are so bad. I need to see who wrote the better episodes because literally 3, 6, and 7, 8, and 9, and 10 were really, really well done. Very well done. Like, towards the end, I was back on board with Himyf, and I wanted to watch it all. But anyway, back to the story. Ellen finds a cat, and she thinks, oh, this is going to be my emotional support cat, which that's not how that works, but okay. And so she takes it to Charlie, back to her place with Charlie, and Valentina is there, and she just goes, you know, goo goo gaga baby eyes over the cat. She's like, ooh, baby. And Charlie is freaked out. Everything eventually comes down because Charlie cares too much for Valentina to continue to lie to her, even for just a couple hours. He just could not stand it. So he finally said, yo, I don't want kids. And that's never gonna change. How about you? And she's like, yeah, no, it's not gonna change. And they break up because she wants it all and he doesn't want kids. And the thing is, people change. People are in a constant flux. So maybe down the line, if they stay together, maybe Charlie may want kids and Valentina may change and say, no, never mind, I may not want kids. But at this moment, this is the hill they're willing to die on. As for Ellen, she found the owner's cat, which was the girl from the one episode that she tried to hit on and ask out, but it didn't work out. And now things are working out because they both like cats. And Sid and Hannah, that was scary because Sid was coming to realize, you know, like having 2 weddings is super expensive. Living the way they're gonna live for another year is just so expensive. And it just seemed like they were rethinking their marriage. It really did, but they pulled a 180 on us, and it turned out they got eloped. They were like, screw it, we're getting married. We're getting married right here, right now. Like, ultimately, it really doesn't matter. Like, a whole ceremony doesn't really matter. It's just a party. You're just throwing a giant party, so, you know, why not just pop the ring on and be like, done? Finally, Jesse and Sophie, they end their relationship with Sophie saying, this was a little much for me. Maybe you should have gone with Meredith on tour. Because the thing is, like, it was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot. But, you know, Jesse took a chance and he thought things were going one way and they didn't. And he was mad. And I get it. He was mad. She was upset. She meets up with Robin and Robin tells her great, hilarious, but great advice. And she goes back only to find Jesse called Meredith and he kissed her. Or they kissed. She kissed him. Meredith kissed him. I don't think Jesse is truly wanting to go back. He's just hurt. And so hurt people turn to hurt people. So in the end, Sophie goes to her gallery, all her friends showing up, and who is to show up at the very end to bookend this season just kind of beautifully. Start with your thesis, you end with your thesis, and that's exactly what they did. And I knew this, they would bring him back, but I didn't know they would bring him back this early, but I knew it. They brought back Isaac. That is right. Data 87 or 88, Isaac. The one that she said was the one, but just timing wasn't working. And that's the whole title of this episode. That's the whole thing. Timing is everything when you're working for a relationship. And yo, I mean, like I said, it can still be Charlie, it could still be Jesse, it could still be Isaac, it could still be Drew. We don't know, nobody knows, but Isaac is back. And Sophie and Isaac kind of just picked up right where they left off. And it was good. I left with a smile. I think, did I leave crying? I don't remember. I've binged so many things in the past month alone that I just don't remember what has made me cry and what has not. So I'm going to give Himyf, just because of how rough it is, an 8.5 out of 10. But I would give it a 9 or like an 89% if I could, or like an 88. An 88% is good. Is good for Himyf. Maybe 87.5. I'm just gonna land with 87.5. That's where we're gonna give him an 87.5 for Himyf. How I Met Your Father. So let me know what you guys thought. Let me just comment down below. Like, well, I mean, this is gonna be a spoiler thing, so like, sorry if you get spoiled in the comments or in this video. You should have known. But let me know what you think about this finale and the whole season as a whole. What was your favorite moments? What are funny parts? What parts you didn't enjoy? I want to discuss. So I'm going to start a Discord soon when I figure out how to do all that stuff, because I want to discuss, TV shows and movies and other stuff, and specifically sitcoms, because that's kind of like my thing. So, but I'm going to figure that out later. But in the meantime, you can see my sushi media links, which are in the description below. And I will see you next time. You have just been Montified. I forgot. Do I say bye? No, I just leave. Okay, bye.